What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about a very hilarious clip that I was sent last night. I watched the whole video, and basically it's a 2.5 hour stream deciding to brand Candace, Geeky Candy, who's part of the Geeks and Gamers team, an ist. Ooh, she's an ist because why? Because she's a white lady with an opinion. And that is how it goes with these weirdo people. They are always looking to play the victim. They are always looking to be fake offended. They are always looking for someone to demonize them because of their own failures in life. Therefore, they have to sit here and nitpick the ever-living hell out of people. Now, this is hilarious because they contradict themselves about 4 times right after having such a problem with Candace and her mean words. Very mean words. And I want people to learn the lesson here that if you ever associate with people like this, you are just one interpretation from their standpoint of getting roasted for 2.5 hours of being an ist or an ism. That's how weak-minded these people are. This is how weak they are. Candace has actually been on streams with these people before, and because she used the term African-American to describe, wait for it, an African-American lady, that makes her an ism. But just wait, or an ist, or whatever. Now, the funny part is they absolutely contradict themselves in the most hilarious way possible. And we're going to watch that. Now, this is a channel called Lonely Banter. I've seen Lonely Banter in streams before. I think I might have joined a stream with this guy on it before. Maybe he got scared because the geek man, white geek man joined. I'm not sure. So they decided to pull a clip of Friday Night Tights from a few weeks ago, and I, unplanned to the rest of the panel, I brought up a point about that weird woman, that weird African-American woman that made the mistake about Michael Bloomberg and the amount of money he put into his campaign and how each American could get this much money, and she got roasted on the internet, and she decided to play the victim and say that a racist Twitter mob came after her. Most of you should remember that. It's been widely covered. So during Friday Night Tights with 2,000-3,000 people watching us at the time, I brought this point up. And Candace then remembered the point, and then she decided to, give her opinion on it because she was familiar with the story. And then the nonsense follows. So let's check this out.
Go.
Remember the woman that made the comment about a week ago about Bloomberg and all the money he put into his campaign and how every American, he could have given every American.
Oh yeah, and then she doubled down on it in her Twitter. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So she got laughed at by the entire internet for making the biggest miscalculation of all time, and then she wrote an article saying that a racist Twitter mob came after her because
poor baby,
because
poor
of
baby.
the that was the title of it. A racist Twitter mob came after me, and then the headline said, "My people have been through much worse, and I will not go away." That woman who made she was on MSNBC, and she made the statement
with Brian Williams, Williams, and an African-American journalist who, a female journalist, I don't remember her name, but she also had posted on her Twitter. And here's the difference between a civil human being and an idiot, like that one woman. The African-American lady, I don't know her name, but that's just the only way I can describe her. She went out and she said, "All right, guys, I guess I need to buy a calculator." That was her response because people were just hitting up her Twitter like, "I can't believe that you put that on MSNBC. You're such idiot, blah, blah, blah." And she ended it by just admitting her ignorance with that back screw up. But this jerk, this is the kind of girl that I am ashamed of for being a part of my gender, because she doubles down, triples down, and then plays the victim card like it's ridiculous. It shows they're insecure, and they're. I hope they grow. Math is so racist. Oh God.
All right, Pert, what up, man? All right, so before I get y'all
Now, and I'm going to let them speak because this is the best part of it all right here. This is the best part. Now, again, the problem here, the problematic thinking here is that she dared to refer to a black woman as an African American woman because that's racist apparently. Interesting that you've set those rules right there. Because what I love to do is I love to take your logic and flip it around on you. So let's be clear of the rules that have been set. That Candace is an ist because she referred to this woman as an African American. She defined her by her race, and therefore that makes her an ist. Remember these rules right here.
y'all opinions on this. Before I get y'all opinions, you noticed all the white guys are silent.
Now, he pulled this clip up in advance, and he referred to the guys on the panel as the white guys. But Candace is wrong because she had no prior knowledge. I was going to bring this point up, but Candace was wrong for not knowing this woman's name and referring to her as an African American, yet he just called the guys on the panel white guys. And that's okay. That's okay.
Math is so racist. Oh God.
All right, Pert, what up, man?
You're
All right, so before I get y'all opinions on this, you noticed all the white guys are silent. They're shaking their heads, but they're
I ain't silent now, am I?
silent. This here Kiki Candace, she used to run in the mouth.
Run in the mouth. White women ain't allowed to run their mouth, apparently, unless they're saying what needs to be said. That's how this operates right here.
Now, we'll go around the horn. Jenkins, what is your opinion hearing that?
Now, it gets even better because the guy, the first person he throws the question to doesn't know the African American woman's name, and listen to how he says her, how he addresses her. Listen to this.
My opinion is, number one, how is she not the victim here? The black lady. What's her name? Myra?
He called her a black lady because he didn't know who she was, which is literally what Candace did. But because Candace is a white girl, she's not allowed to say African American woman. But his first guest said, I don't know her name, the black lady. These people are fucking idiots, and it's hilarious. It is so wonderful when stupid people hate us and then they expose themselves. So you have already, by your own logic, you have already said the white guys on the panel, which by your definition is racist, and your first guest, your first person you throw the question to, already did exactly what Candace did. Oh my God. Make it a little more difficult.
Yeah. How is she not the victim? Somebody else put up the tweet. The host said she didn't disagree with the host, but I don't think you should really disagree with the host if you own their platform anyway. And then she gets the backlash from it the next day for something she didn't do or say. So basically, I see that she is a victim, and it does make sense. Now, what this white lady is talking about on the last thing.
This white lady. So again, they set the rules, but then they don't follow the rules. They are offended by something, yet they have no problem doing the exact thing that they claim they're offended over. Hilarious.
It's just, I question her her visual ability to see the video that I saw, because I'm pretty it's pretty obvious like what happened, but what she got from it and what I got from it is two totally different things. So I think she just needs to shut up or look at it again and then come back and try to say something, because it doesn't really coincide with what actually happened, what she's talking about, in my opinion.
White women, shut up. If you have an opinion that they don't like, shut up. That's what I'm learning from this.
All right. So before we continue, before I go to the next, but I just want to let y'all know. She said she doesn't know this person's name. You know, she says she doesn't know this person's name. You know, she calls her an African American.
The black lady, what's her name? Myra.
And your panelist didn't know her name, and your panelist said the black lady. Your own panelist did exactly what you're claiming you're offended over, but you didn't call him out. He identified her as the black lady because he didn't know her name.
She can't describe her other than she's African American.
And your panelist couldn't describe her other than she was a black lady. What's the timestamp we're on here? We're at 1:43:13. Let's go back. Let's go back. See, he's so offended by this, okay? He's so offended that Candace didn't know her name, and all he could do is to call her a African American, okay?
All right, so before I get y'all opinions on this.
She didn't disagree with the host, but I don't think you should really disagree with the host.
Now, we'll go around the horn. Jenkins, what is your opinion hearing that?
My opinion is, number one, how is she not the victim here? The black lady, what's her name? Myra.
How stupid can you be? Like, how stupid can you be? You said Candace bad, white girl bad, because she didn't know how to I described this lady other than she was an African American, yet your first panelist didn't know her name, and he describes her as a black lady. This is unbelievable. How stupid can these people be?
Then she's African American. Now let me tell y'all, when I saw this, I did not know like what they was talking about. So what I did was simple. And look, I guess this is journalism, but I did a simple Google search. I typed in Brian Williams, the 11th hour, and then like, what did I type? I don't remember exactly, but I typed Brian Williams and something related to what they was talking about in the video. Boom. First page, Brian Williams, Mary Gay, all that stuff. So like, for this person to sit there and say she doesn't know who it was, she saw on Twitter, she saw this and all that. What's so hard to do a simple Google search? Like, you hear talking noise about people getting information wrong, and this is what you're doing right there as you're talking about it.
How is it wrong information to describe an African American lady as an African American? Please, someone make me understand this. Make me understand how that is bad. Not only that, you described the four guys on the panel as four white guys, yet you are the one who intentionally decided to put this clip on your channel, and you didn't do the research for the four white guys to find out their names, because it was okay, it was justifiable to describe them as four white guys, which is perfectly fine, by the way. But you didn't do the research to get the names. The only identifiable thing that you had was the four white guys. Candace had no idea this question or this topic was being mentioned on Friday Night Tights. Do you think Candace is supposed to stop an entire show with 3,000 people watching so she can do a Google search so you cannot be fake offended? Is that what you think is supposed to happen? The entire world is supposed to revolve around you? So you think Candace is supposed to say, hey everyone, I'm on someone else's channel, a channel that has a ton of subscribers, that has been nice enough to invite me, and I'm going to stop everything going on and make the 3,000 people that are watching wait so I can Google this person's name on a point that Jeremy brought up. But I need to make sure I know her name so that people aren't fake offended on the internet. Do you realize how stupid that sounds? So again, you're offended because Candace said African American about an African American woman. Then you described the men on the panel as white guys, which was okay, I guess, even though by your own rules, that was racist. Your first person you threw the question to didn't know the woman's name and called her a black lady.
The black lady. What's her name? Myra?
And then he referred to Candace as a white girl. So again, and trust me, if you go back and look in this chat, there are people in this chat, all right, that are fucking roasting me, all right, and roasting Candace. Some of these people have begged me to become part of Geeks and Gamers, and they know who they are. It is hilarious. I love watching people expose themselves, all right? You were never good enough to be part of Geeks and Gamers. That is the problem. You can continue to play the victim. You can continue to group up with all the people that hate me and whatever it is you need to do. But this is beautiful. So, I have Candace's back. All normal people have Candace's back. The hypocrisy and the absolute ridiculousness of this entire stream, because it just gets so much better, because the more they talk, the more stupid their argument is, and I love it, and I love pointing out the stupidity in it. Now, at this point, they make the claim that why couldn't Candace refer to her as a journalist? But Jeremy did. They said Jeremy called her a journalist. No, I didn't. I never called her a journalist in that entire clip you played. But they accuse us of making stuff up right here. They accuse us of making stuff up, yet they literally said I called her a journalist when I didn't, but they said Candace didn't, and Candace is the one that called her a journalist.
With Brian Williams and an African-American journalist.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
And look, I guess this is journalism, but I did a simple Google search. I typed in Brian Williams, the 11th hour, and then like, what did I type? I don't remember exactly, but I typed Brian Williams and something related to what they was talking about in the video. Boom, first page, Brian Williams, married gay, all that stuff. So like, for this person to sit there and say she doesn't know who it was, she saw on Twitter, she saw this and all that. What's so hard to do a simple Google search? Like, you hear talking noise about people getting information wrong, and this is what you're doing right there as you're talking about it.
What information did she get wrong? She's an African-American woman. What information did Candace get wrong? Can somebody explain to me what information Candace got wrong by saying she's an African-American woman? You can't.
Like, how is that credible? Like, it's not hard to look this stuff up. You could do that right there on stream. All right, I don't know the lady's name.
Yeah, let's stop the entire stream on a channel. Like, she's on Gary's channel who has 230,000 subs. Candace is a relatively new person in this community with 5,000. Let me stop a stream on a channel that I am not on, and let me hold up 3,000 viewers to get a name right, so I don't offend these people.
Boom. Just type it in. Brian Williams, black journalist. Brian Williams.
Black journalist? I thought we couldn't refer to her as a black person.
Black lady. What's her name? Myra?
How in the world is someone this dumb?
Williams, whatever. Like, Brian, yeah, that's what I typed. I typed Brian Williams, math. That's what I typed. Yeah, Brian Williams math. That's what I typed. It's right here on the computer. But that's all you had to do. But no, this is what they do. And look, if you like them, if you love them, cool. But this is what they do in their videos. They don't talk about anything factual. They make stuff up for entertainment. Now that's
So calling an African American woman an African American woman is proof that we make stuff up. Okay.
Cool, but don't be trying to make these people look like they better than what they are. But oh man, like this was on the Nerdrotics channel. I mean, you just gotta listen to it. Like, man, there's more to what she was saying. Like referring, if I can remember, referring to they. But hey, man, let's go to Perp. Perp, you sent this to me. Like this is now. You might before I get to you, you might be saying this. Okay, why didn't you talk about this when it happened? Well, I didn't know this happened because I don't watch them. I'm not into none of their content because this foolishness that they talk about. So Perp sent this to me, and it's only right that Perp is here to speak on it.
Yeah. When I saw it, because like when PB sent us all that live stream and watch, that's what stuck out to me the most. I was like, yo, I'm definitely clipping this because it's like. Nobody has nothing to say about this, but if it would have been anybody from quote unquote Disney Star Wars, like a Ryan Johnson or something like that, they'd be all over it. It's just really weird to me.
So if Ryan Johnson called an African American woman an African American, we would have been on it.
The black lady, what's her name? Myra.
That like you couldn't take the time to just, correct yourself and be like, oh, it's this person, or don't even just call her the journalist or something like that. And that's how you refer to her as, just the African American. I was like, wow, that's
right. Like
crazy.
Like you say you've seen this stuff and all you can describe is she's African American.
That's what your guest described her as. So I guess that's a racist comment too.
Oh, okay. And it's funny to me. Like, I'm not saying everybody needs to remember everything I say, but you was just on a panel with me a few weeks before, and I spoke on this. I said I don't like to be referred to as African American. Like,
was she talking to you? So the world has to revolve around you. So if you make a claim, you and your 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, that means it's universal standards for every single person, right? Because if you believe one thing, then it has to apply to every single other person in the history of existence. Okay, good logic.
It's okay to call us black, What it was so hard to call her a journalist? Jeremy called her a journalist.
No, I did not. Not one time in that entire clip did I call her a journalist. But you say we make stuff up. At no point did I call her a journalist. Candace did, but I didn't. So now you are inventing a narrative about me to make me look better, so you can then invent lies to take down Candace. That's just some amazing logic right there. At no point did I call her a journalist.
But you called the man by his name. You called him Brian Williams. Have some respect and call her a journalist. That's what she is.
With Brian Williams and an African American journalist.
Or you could have said the guest with Brian Williams.
Yeah.
Hey, she racist. That was overt, over the top. Fuck the other shit. Like, but
I can agree with that statement.
Around the bush. That shit.
The guy who called her a black woman is now saying that he agrees with the statement that Candace is racist.
The black lady, what's her name? Myra.
Whew. Anyway, that's it. I mean, this video's gone on too long, but this is fantastic. Like, this is amazing logic. I love this video. I love this stream that they made. The nonsensical arguments and the fact that they expose their own logic at least 5 or 6 times. Then they invent lies. They say, I called her a journalist. Go back and watch the clip that he played. Never did I call the woman a journalist. But he said I called her a journalist because they're trying to prop me up to make me sound better just so they can tear Candace down with lies and then discredit her by taking the words that she said and saying I said them and then claiming she never said them. Amazing. Anyway, You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. And SJWs are the gift that keeps on giving. Bye.